Okay, yeah. I wanted to let you know that ever since I started listening to you, I've changed my life. I mean, I was 13 when I came to this country. I was raised in the high school system thinking there is no American culture, and you turned me on to the American culture. I like to think of myself as an American because of you, sir.
You are an
Secondly,
American.
thank you, sir. I wanted to touch up on the Syria situation where all the Christians are being massacred and such. And it's so ironic that most of them are ethnic Armenians that fled the Armenian genocide in Turkey. And now, 99 years later, on the 99th anniversary, which is today, the April 24th, that the Ottoman Empire gave the order to go after the elite Armenians in government and public service, and they fired them on April 24th.
Well, let me bring up the Armenian genocide that our government will not condemn because they don't want to make Turkey mad. Will they kill something like almost 1 million people or something? It was some giant number, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
And people have to understand, then they fled to Syria. I know enough of the history to know that. And they're now being ethnically cleansed. And even the UN had to admit this year, it was just in the news a month ago, that the #1 persecuted group is Christians, double any other group worldwide. I don't care if you're Protestant, Catholic, Orthodox. It doesn't matter what Christian you are persecuted from India to the Middle East. Across the world has it out for Christians. And I remember getting criticized pointing this out years ago. There is a war on real Christians, not megachurch, glitterbug, government agents. Most of those big megachurches are called clergy response teams on FEMA payroll, folks, especially a lot of the big ones in Austin that I'm getting ready to expose. But the whole point is, I'm going to do undercover stuff. I'm letting people know up front. I always tell the enemy I'm coming. But the whole point is that what you're saying is so important, and the people running our government are backing Al-Qaeda on record. It was in mainstream news yesterday to murder Christians all over the Middle East and attack our own troops in Iraq. It is outrageous. But then you understand, the criminal groups above our government, they want to keep the wars going. So God bless you. Appreciate your call, Alec. It is outrageous what's going on. Outrageous. And they just lined up those Armenians and just shot them. And I'm not against Turks. You know, every time you say this genocide's wrong or that genocide's wrong, well, why are you against Turks? Or why are you against, Ukrainians? Because you don't want a war in Ukraine. I'm not, folks. When the Ottoman Empire and the Turks were very vicious at that time. I don't blame the Turkish people for what happened there, but I do blame their government. So you don't have to then own that and say it's good because you're Turkish. You can say it was wrong and apologize for it, bare minimum. Let's go ahead and talk to Dean in Canada. Dean, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to go over the importance of words and how a lot of people are twisting words, taking one meaning and making it into a completely different meaning. The words I was going to go over is everything from, a peacekeeper is somebody goes to war, kind of like Orwellian doublespeak, where you have somebody that takes over a word, makes love hate, hate war. I mean, love to hate and peace to war and everything else, and just the importance of people understanding the actual meanings of the words.
People have to understand that words are being changed. Words are being manipulated. And now under political correctness, they're saying, don't say bossy. Folks go, well, that sounds ridiculous to say don't be bossy. It's meant to be over the top. They're meant to tell you, hey, don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut and only repeat what we say is kosher.
Yeah, that's correct. They'll say things like, I'm informed, which means that you're just parroting what you were told.
Or it'll mean, I don't have to listen to you, I'm informed.
Exactly.
What are some other examples semantically you've noticed?
Like the Ukrainian situation with, of course, the freedom fighters and now the militants. We have the militants in there now where we used to have the freedom fighters doing the exact same thing.
Exactly. And more. When the Western Ukrainian white supremacists are blowing up police stations, it's freedom fighting, exactly. And then when the Russians defend themselves, it's terrorism. You're exactly right. See, That's a great caller. I hate hanging up on him, but I said 1 minute each. Great points. We should do a whole show of examples of doublespeak. We're going to come back with Andrew, country, others.
Clean water at home, clean water at the office, clean water on the go. The Berkey Guy has a Berkey water filtration model for anywhere you are and one that fits any budget. Thousands of satisfied customers can't be wrong. For free shipping within the U.S., go to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Helping thousands prepare since 2005, goberkey.com.
How can you save a ton of money and prepare for emergencies? By having your own in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. Now you can cut down on wasted food by freeze drying your leftovers. That's right. Create your own long-term food storage by freeze drying your own fruits, meats, vegetables, even complete meals with the Harvest Right in-home freeze dryer. Imagine the savings and the peace of mind. See how the amazing Harvest Right freeze dryer works at harvestright.com.
It's been said, those who control the food control the people. Are you concerned about GMO foods making you sick and affecting your mind? Many people suffer from lack of energy, insomnia, loss of stamina, weight gain, and the inability to think clearly. Genetically modified crops, processed foods, and toxic chemicals can compromise your health and are silently destroying your digestive system, which accounts for 80% of your immune system. Take back control of your health with Pro EM1 Probiotic from Terraganics. Pro EM1 Probiotic helps protect your body against irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, diabetes, the common cold, and much more. And including a powerful probiotic like Pro EM1 is part of your daily routine, puts you back in control and prevents you from becoming a mindless zombie manipulated by the pharmaceutical and GMO agendas. Call Terraganics at 866-369-3678 or visit Terraganics.com. Terraganix.com.
A 30-day GMO-free emergency food supply for only $99 at 30dayfoodsupply.com. You can purchase Oregon Trail Foods' 1 month supply of high-quality, nutritious, and healthy emergency meals. For less than $100, these vegetarian meals are naturally high in fiber, carbs, and protein, and they're packed with oxygen absorbers in Mylar pouches. They're completely free of any artificial flavors and colorings, have a 20-year shelf life, and take up to 70% less space than number 10 cans. They even offer a gluten-free option. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from the producers in Oregon and then passing the savings to you. Purchase a 30-day, 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99 this month, and $10 ships your entire order. Visit the website at 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. That's 30dayfoodsupply.com, where they make preparedness affordable. 30dayfoodsupply.com.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
Folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Get up, stand up for your right.
All right, folks, we're going to go back to your calls in the next segment. We have a special guest joining us right now from the Bundy Ranch in southern Nevada. The interview we did at the start of the broadcast an hour and a half ago with Cliven Bundy is now up on Infowars.com, the video and the audio. Headline, Cliven Bundy responds to New York Times racism report. Nevada cattle rancher Cliven Bundy responds to claims made by the New York Times that he is a racist. And, of course, anyone that doesn't like the government's racist now. And, of course, they're in there listening to hundreds of speeches he gave where he does the cliched statement I've heard from black leaders, white leaders, mainly conservatives, that one evil was traded out for another. Slavery and then another evil of segregation, but that at least had pressure on people, so it made them stronger. Now the nanny state, all the statistics show, is a new, more insidious form of slavery. And I asked Bundy if that's what he meant. And he said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say everybody's got a good soul, everybody's welcome here. I was complaining, he said, that no one who's a, quote, ethnic minority, hardly anybody was here. People need to get out here. But I was pointing out how governments enslave people. Now, we say that every day, and they don't run with that. But he is kind of a fossil, too. 7th generation, middle of the desert. It was the Negro Leagues was the name of it back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. And then you're supposed to say colored, then African-American. I just say black folks or white folks or just people. But this is the obsession with words, and they're using that to make a big deal out of it. But let me tell you, that's how old people talk. And I mean, really old people. My grandparents didn't talk like that, but I've known a lot of old people do. And the issue is nothing to do with the land rights or the people walking towards the guns or the feds tasering people. That's the issue. But the controlled White House-run media is going completely crazy. I see Cliven Bundy saying, they abort their young children. They put their young men in jail. So if he was for Planned Parenthood and the real racist Margaret Sanger, who wanted to kill all the blacks, 52% aborted, that would be good. Now we're joined by a fellow that's on a security detail, the Bundy Ranch, Jason Bullock, who just so happens to be an American who has more melanin in his skin than I do, who's black. And I don't know what he's going to say. We're getting him on. What is your take on this new controversy? And where do you think this is all going? And have you caught Cliven wearing any white hoods, sir?
I've never seen Mr. Bundy wear a white hood at all. I can assure you that this man is not racist. He's the nicest, most kind-hearted man that I've met. And it's an honor to be on his personal security detail. He's let me meet his family. He's let me secure his family. If he was racist, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have a black guy, in his house, on his property, 24/7. It's just the media's way of demonizing him, and they've been doing that since the beginning, like they always do.
Describe, were you there when he gave his full speech that he says they're taking out of context?
I was not there, so I can't really give any input on that. But I have heard that that was what happened. They came and got me this morning. They were like, "Yeah, they're trying to make Mr. Bundy a racist, so we need you to come speak to."
Well, I mean, talk about Mr. Bundy, why you came out there, what you've seen while you've been there.
Well, I've actually been here back and forth for about 2 weeks, and I'm staying out here for the long haul this time. From what I've seen, what I saw was the federal government overstepping its bounds. They had rifles pointed at civilians. I was here during the standoff, and it was just all bad. It looked like martial law in the middle of the desert.
Well, bottom line, I hope that the New York Times and everybody listens to what you have to say. But in the final equation, everyone's so sick of hearing this race stuff. Don't like turning your guns in, you're racist. Don't like Obamacare, you're racist. I mean, you watch MSNBC, it's literal race-baiting broadcast. I don't think this is going to fly like they think. They want to change the subject off of the Tiananmen Square type stuff by the feds on to race and division. What's your take on that?
Divide and conquer. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. And frankly, it sickens me, and that's why I'm out here. That's why I decided to come out here in the first place, because I'm sick of the powers that be stepping on the little man. Black, white, yellow, green, I don't care.
Well, exactly. And let's be honest, racism isn't as bad as it used to be, but racial fear and division is worse than it's ever been, as Clarence Thomas said about a month ago, because of the controlled press raising the issue. The way to end it is to invite everybody and anybody who loves liberty, that's what makes us brothers, into the liberty movement. I've caught so many feds online and in person spouting racial stuff at events to create division, and we can't let them do that. Liberty is a big tent. We've got to come together. I want to spend a few more minutes with you and talk about a strategy to defeat Harry Reid straight ahead. Stay there. Jason Bullock. We'll come right back to you.
We're on the march. The Empire.